30 deficit handstand push-ups, hit 6 inches for these athletes, 30 front squats at 165, 30 toes to bar, and then 30 shoulder to overhead at 165 pounds. And Chase, one of the things we always look at when we come to events like this is how do you decide to break these different movements up? I would say that for a lot of these athletes that can do 30 unbroken or a large number of unbroken bar muscle ups, there's no need to do that right out of the gate. You can very easily do a set of 5, come down, shake them out, hop back up, set of 5, because immediately after this you have those hang power cleans. So you go from grip to grip right out of the gate. And I think one of the faster movements is going to be the hang power clean segment, so you want to save that grip as much as possible.
All athletes working on to their first set of 30 bar muscle ups. Coming into that, it's 30 hang power cleans at 165, 30 deficit strict or 30 deficit handstand push-ups, 6-inch deficit for the men. Then we'll move into front squats. Hand in the air in lane number 10 for Noah Olson. Noah Olson had a tough night, or actually had a tough day in general in day number 1, but a good finish this morning in ski school. So this is definitely not an event or a heat that Noah's used to being in.
Well, we know that Noah Olson is just so powerful when it comes to gymnastic type movement. So he has the ability to do big sets, and it really doesn't crush him all that much. I was assuming he was going to come off here first. It's definitely a movement for him. But right behind him, you see Jeffrey Adler. You see him right to the left-hand side in the black tank top. Now, last night in that rope climb event, it was 1 rope climb of legless, 4 of regular. His judge was a judging mistake, and he had to do 5 unbroken, or I'm sorry, 5 all legless rope climbs. So I want to see if that does anything to his grip this afternoon or this evening.
Also, stepping off of those
The rest of the men field joining Noah Olson. We've moved from 30 bar muscle ups to 30 hang power cleans at 165 pounds.
And one of the things I'm not really seeing that I thought we would, Scott Panchik about 4 years ago brought that rebounding off the thigh technique where he actually would catch up to Rich Froning. That was something he did really well. I don't see too many athletes doing that out here, and I think I'm not a fan of that. But I know it's much faster to do that. Although if you get that swing, it kind of saves that grip a little bit more as well.
Weight of the bar, 165, 30 reps. You see a lot of athletes breaking this up, and not something they would normally do at this weight and this rep scheme, but when you start an event off with 30 bar muscle ups, that grip fatigue's gonna go, especially considering everything they did last night in terms of those legless and leg rope climbs.
Grip, 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 all afternoon long, all evening long.
Noah Olson, lane number 10, moving forward, center part of the lane, and no shirt. So Olson's done with his 30 hang power cleans, and he'll move to the rig where he has 30 deficit handstand push-ups at 6 inches. On in lane number 14, joining Noah Olson, that is John Paul Heathcock. He had to go back and advance his pylon.
Now, I think that was really smart with Noah. You see him go out of a set of 5 or so, come off the wall, rest those arms. But I think a lot of athletes have a tendency of doing is staying on the wall way longer than they need to. Now, granted, these aren't strict, which is a nice thing. So you have time to sit down on your head as well, just kind of rest on your neck and get a very big kick. Something you see someone like Alex Smith do where you have that big leg swing, use as much of your body as possible to get that body up in the air.
Left side of the screen in the red, white, and blue striped shorts, John Paul Heathcock. Just to his right, you have Pablo Chalfoun, Trevor James, Royce Dunn. All these guys are trying to chase down lane number 10, Noah Olson. Olson's taking very conservative breaks. Not something we're really used to seeing at that point, but when you think about what they have next is 30 front squats at 165. To me, and that's because I suck at front squats, but to me, I think that might be the most physically demanding part of the event.
Oh, without a doubt. You got to figure with your handstand push-ups, even though you're using a kip, the basic element of the movement are very small muscles, meaning you're just your shoulders only. Those will fatigue out very, very fast. Now, you're not using your shoulders in the front squat, but depending how you hold it, whether it's in that front rack or this way, you're going to feel that. And then remember, we have those 30 shoulder to overhead, so it's shoulder, shoulder, shoulder.
Noah Olson on the left side of your screen is done with his 30 handstand push-ups. As he'll grab his belt and he'll move back to his barbell for 30 front squats at 165. Noah's first off the rig and through the hang power cleans, continuing his first place position. This is heat 1 of 2. Not a position we're used to seeing Noah Olson in. Now he's moved himself up to 12th after this morning's event, where he had a top 3 finish. He's going to need another one if he wants to find himself in the final heat going into tomorrow.
And I think one of the things that's good about this position for Noah, being that he had such a rough time, he needs some confidence back. So sitting out in the front, sitting by himself, kind of getting his composure, I think that's a good place to be. Granted, he doesn't have anyone really to chase in this heat right now, but I don't think that's something that's going to push him very well. He needs to kind of get in a real positive position and kind of push himself forward.
You just saw Ethan Helbigen's screen. He is well behind the entire field at this moment. And so it is all Noah Olson in lane 10, alone in the center of the competition floor. Literally the only guy out there that we should be actually watching at the moment. Working through his 30 front squats at 165.
And you can see the way that Noah has that rack on his body. It's nice that it's on his shoulders, but you can literally hold it any way. So if he wanted to, he could cross his arms and just set it on his shoulders to relax his grip, relax his form, not have that extra added stretch.
The thing about it too is like 30 bar muscle ups, you're going to have quite the bicep and forearm grippy pump from that. Then you go straight to hang power cleans, adding more to the problem. And now you go to handstand push-ups and you got the shoulders. So that front rack position, I feel like it's a lot more uncomfortable once you get to this point of the event.
Absolutely, I agree, I agree.
Noah Olson not alone anymore in the center of the floor. He's got some company. John Paul Heathcock up to his left in the red, white, and blue. First to join him was actually in lane number 6, Josh Gervais. But 2 reps left for Noah Olson. And so he'll set the bar down, move his pylon forward one more time. And his second to last movement will be 30 toes to bar.
And right next to him in lane 8.
Again, I think this is a real positive position for Noah to be in. It's always positive when you're the lead, but I think just mentally for him to get him back into that position. Now, he doesn't have a shot at winning the Wodapalooza here. That's out of the question. But what he does have is a chance to get himself back into the game, rebuild that confidence, and come back firing on the next event that he goes to.
Well, you think of the analogy of like horse riding. Right? You get bucked off the horse, the first thing you do is get back on,
Exactly.
or else you're scared for life. What Noah needs to do is that he hasn't suffered a day 1 like this, we dare say, in his career.
Ever. That's usually day 3 or 4 at the game.
Yeah.
That is what that looks like.
And so starting in this position, I think this could only be a great opportunity for him to grow even more as an athlete and a competitor moving forward beyond this event.
Not afraid to push and try to close that gap between he and Noah Olson. Just a few more front squats for him.
That's time cap, closing in fast, so 14 minutes with the 8:50 mark.
Noah Olson on the rig, 30 toes to bar. The rest of the field, as you can see in the center part of Flagler, all working through their 30 front squats at 165. Hand of the year over in lane number 6 on the right side of your screen is Josh Gervais, as he's nearly done with his 30 front squats at 165. Gervais will be done. Hand of the air over in lane number 14, John Paul Heathcock. But at the same time as he's trying to finish, Noah Olson is about to come off the rig as Gervais moves towards the rig. So Noah Olson back onto the floor as he will have 30 push jerks. At 165, Tyler Eggeman currently sitting second overall. So if you're looking at your top 3, Noah Olson, Tyler Eggeman in lane 17, Josh Gervais in lane 6. Gervais in the center part of your screen, currently sitting in 3rd overall in the seat. 10 minutes in.
But it's all about Noah Olson, who's looking to go a big set out the gate.
Now, one of the things I'm kind of impressed with Noah right now is he's got a very particular judge. And I've already seen a couple instances where there have been about 4 reps where it's been very questionable. And you can see almost, I don't want to say disgust, but the second you show that you are disturbed by the call, then all of a sudden you move out of your game. He's done a great job of making that face, but getting right back into it. So I think it's very good for him that he's able to hang in there and keep clipping away and keep clipping away.
Noah Olsen still working through his push jerks. And in lane number 17, Tyler Eggerman is off the rig. So Noah has some company for the first time here on his 30 shouldered overhead at 165. Noah Olsen center screen in lane number 10. Tyler Eggerman in lane 17. As we're at past the 11-minute mark, Olsen will take a break. Eggerman still rolling.
How many more does he have? Because I tell you what, Josh Gervais.
And Eggerman will take his first break.
Big chunk by Eggerman. Wow.
Noah's taking a pretty big rest. That's kind of the hard times of being in Noah Olsen's, I would say, heat. That there's no one really to push him as much as he would need. So Noah Olsen will cross the finish line right around 11:32.
So Noah Olsen gonna get across.
Nice job by Noah. That was a nice finish. Nice finish. Again, I think, you know what's weird? It's like he's practicing these rep scheme pacing setups that he's never really had before. I think it's kind of interesting seeing someone that's so experienced and been around for so long that is now really taking the time to learn that. That's usually something you see earlier back. Once he gets the two blended between his all-out go and then that, it's going to be pretty badass. And he already is very, very good.
You think about that, it's like Noah Olsen has the skill sets to be a podium athlete at the game.
Totally, absolutely.
I mean, you don't win the Open not fit enough to challenge for a place like that.
Just because you're sort of okay?
Tyler Eggerman in lane number 17 in the Savage shirt has 2 more reps remaining.
Hand in the air in lane number 17 as we got 90 seconds on the clock, and Tyler.
And he'll have a second place finish in heat number 1. This is heat 1 of 2 for the Elite Individual Men here on the Flagler stage for the 2019 Wodapalooza CrossFit Festival. As we are now crowning one man, woman, and team of 4 to get an invite to the CrossFit Games. In lane number 6, you have Josh Gervais. He'll take 3rd in this heat with less than 1 minute remaining. And now we're looking across the floor. You got lane 12.
One of those athletes down in
Dylan Martin.
19, closest to the vendor.
Dylan Martin in the gray shirt, green shorts in lane number 12 is trying to finish his last few reps of shoulder overhead. As Jeffrey Adler will cross the finish line. And Royce Dunn.
We got 20 seconds on the clock, gentlemen. Let's go.
Let's go, crowd.
Dylan Martin just finishing up. 10 seconds remaining before he hit that 14-minute cap.
Seconds. Come on, Flagler, rally behind him. We got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, time.
And that'll do it for heat number 1 for the individual elite men. Heat number 2 will be coming up shortly, as well as some special guests in the booth with me. Keep it here for live action for heat number 2 of the individual men here at Wodapalooza.
The elite action continues, ladies and gentlemen. The athletes coming up next. had a combined CrossFit Games appearance 21 times. Can anybody guess which athlete has the most Games appearances of those coming up? I'm listening.
I heard it over here.
What they say?
We got the elite men, professional men. Elijah Muhammad. Elijah. Nope. And then next up will be the elite women. So I wanted to give you guys
Actually, there's a tie. Travis Mayer and Alex Anderson have both appeared at the CrossFit Games 4 times. Props to my man Chad Schroeder for putting his statistics together for me. Celebrity Watch. Go say hello to Kiki.
Don't do it.
Can anybody guess which of these athletes coming up got second at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games? He's got crazy hair, that's my hint.
Hey, they got the flag back there where he's from, Canada.
Canada!
Oh, here they come now.
All right, well, I'm tell you what, I'm gonna leave the clock to you, Chris.
2 minutes, athletes, 2 minutes. As this CrossFit season is underway, we're gonna see a heck of a battle here. Noah. Remember, gentlemen, do not touch the handstand push-up mats. It is good to see Sean Sweeney with the hat on today. Love it.
I wouldn't have it any other way. The CrossFit Cowboy coming at us.
90 seconds. One minute.
Heat 2 of individual elite men have taken the floor here at Flagler for the 2019 Wodapalooza CrossFit Fitness Festival. I'm Chase Singer, and I've got 2 special guests with me, 2008 CrossFit Games champion Jason Khalifa and 3-time CrossFit Games champion Matt Fraser. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing excellent. How about you, Matt?
Dude, I'm doing awesome. I am enjoying the show. I'm having an amazing time.
Heat 1 is done. The time to beat set by Noah Olson at 11:33. And as we come to this final event for day number 2, currently in the lead, Patrick Vellner at 3:54. Behind him, only 20 points, Travis Mayer at 3:34. And then Drew Wayman at 3:30, sitting in 3rd place. As we started off, it'll be 30 bar muscle ups, followed by 30 hang power cleans. Matt, with your most recent experiences seeing this type of event of coupling gymnastics and barbell movements, that back-to-back real grippy movements.
Yeah, of the workouts, I think this is my favorite one. It's just a good mix. It's not good for any sort of specialist. You need the gymnastics, you need the weightlifting, and I think a few of the guys in this heat are going to just knock it out of the park. I obviously have my eye on Fellner. He's great with his good mix of everything. I'm excited to see what Travis do and Wayman. I saw him at regionals, and he was a very impressive rookie. There's a lot of talent there, so I'm excited to see what he's been working on since regionals.
Yeah. And Drew Wayman at one point in time in your regional was leading after the first day.
Yep.
And as you said, an impressive rookie. What do you see from Drew just from this weekend, maybe, that kind of lends to him having a pretty bright future in this sport?
I think for the most part he's fairly well-rounded. But I think at regionals he was a bit heavy. So some of the workouts that came up there was bigger sets of muscle ups. So I think it was things like that slowed him down a bit. and then I think his other pit was a strict handstand push-up. So we'll see, you know, if having the kip in this workout on the handstand push-ups kind of cancels out, or if the deficit is too much for him.
I was talking to Pat Vellner, and you know, he has an extensive gymnastics background, and we're seeing that paying off pretty good here. He's landing real high on those bar muscle-ups. I think he's going to save his press out for the handstand push-ups and through his shoulder overhead. Do you think that's what he's thinking about? Or?
But, I mean, you look how relaxed he is. You know, he's pausing at the top. He's not rushing the bottom. He's getting a good kip out of it. You know, he came off the bar a little bit behind Dakota. But this isn't where the workout's won.
Right.
You know, there's still so much more to go. And look at that. He's nice and smooth on the hang power clean. Not rushing.
Well, and that's something that you do really well, Matt. I think for anybody who's watched competition, you see some of these guys that come out maybe a little bit hot, or, you know, you are very systematic in the way you approach things. So if you were coming onto these power cleans right now, what would your mindset be? What would you be thinking about? What kind of sets are you doing?
You know, this workout is definitely one that you have to stay in your lane. There's always going to be someone that tries to do the muscle ups in 2 to 3 sets. There's going to be people that are rushing through the workout early, and you just have to be confident in your abilities and know that this slow pace will pay off when I get to the 3rd or 4th movement. So just stay confident in your abilities that your pace will pay off. Look at Travis there. Doing the bounce cleans, and he almost has a snatch grip.
Yep.
Keep that bar nice and high on the waist. I'm assuming that's why he's doing that. I like that. If you got the mobility for it,
yeah.
do it.
Yeah, if you have that front rack mobility.
If you can turn your elbows through with a wide grip like that, by all means, have at it.
As we're moving into the 30 hang power cleans, Patrick Vellner was 3rd to the bar. Now he'll be 1st off the bar.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. Vellner was nice, consistent on the bar muscle up. Boom. Ahead of Dakota Rager.
Vellner moving ahead of Dakota Rager. Time split 3:25, so no Olsen split. 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Patrick Vellner 15 seconds off the pace. Now you have Vellner, who you say is one of the most all-around athletes here. And then you got Dakota Rager, who's definitely more a gymnastics specialist.
Yeah.
50-50 split type event.
Yeah, you know, it's a 50-50 split, so I think it's just how much is the gymnastic strength and how much is the weightlifting and weakness, you know, what one's going to tip the scale. I'm thinking Vellner's pacing this for the end. I think he's good at putting the throttle down to the very end, so I'm willing to bet we'll see the toe bar and the shoulder overhead, some big sets.
I think
I'm surprised how much Dakota's kicking down.
Yeah, he's getting a big kip, huh?
I thought for sure he would try to do it in 2 sets, if not unbroken.
Yeah.
But he's
So to that point, like my question is that you got the bar muscle-ups for 30 reps, you got the hang power cleans at 165 for 30 reps. Knowing you have front squats coming up, you got pull, shoulders, that rack position feeling coming into the front squat.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing the shoulder overhead correctly, you're not burning out your shoulders, you know, you're using legs. But I'm shocked. I thought Dakota, like the workouts in the open that are like bodyweight gymnastics, he usually home run hits, gets a world record on him. He's doing sets of 4 on the handstand push-up. I mean, he knows what he's doing. I would just love to know what his strategy is on this.
You got that thought process too. It's just not just the kipping handstand push-up, but that 6-inch deficit. You know, both of you guys have familiarity in that. Let's say more than the average open athlete, regional athlete.
Yeah, I think Vellner's ref has his hand up now, so I think Vellner moves into the lead.
Yeah, I think the big game changer here is going to be this front squat right now. I think this is going to be. I think Vellner is going to smoke it, and we'll see what happens.
I take back what I said. Dakota's still in the lead. I think if Dakota can hang on the front squats, he has a good chance of taking this event.
Yeah.
Here comes Patrick Vellner, about 20 seconds behind.
This is the race right here, don't you think?
Yeah, I think the hardest movement on this, mentally and physically, are the front squats. You know, you got that bar pressing on your throat. You always go into the front squats in the middle of a Mekon thinking, like, okay, I'm going to do it in 2 sets. And then as soon as that bar is pressed on your throat, your heart rate's up. You start breaking it up more and more. I mean, Vellner's looking nice and calm.
Very smooth and steady. A little bit of a different
Dakota's
technique.
looking pretty good. You know, his chest is coming down a little bit, but I think for this weight, it's not too much of an issue.
Well, if you notice, Vellner's using a much different technique than Noah did, right? Noah did these fast sets. Vellner is kind of holding it there, smooth and steady. Which way do you like, Matt?
So, I mean, for this workout, you know, Noah would hit the top and immediately descend back down. That's going to hurt your quads. You know, you're not giving yourself a chance to get that breath. You know, Vellner just staying calm, cool, collected, taking the breath at the top of every rep. I'm interested to see Alex Anderson just got to the front squat. This man was born to squat.
Looks like almost the whole group now is almost on front squat.
Dakota Rager is off the bar.
Oh, wow.
Pat Vellner 5
Oh,
reps
boy.
behind him.
Oh,
Wow.
Now, if we're looking at the pace set by Noah Olson at 7:36, Dakota Rager is now 30 seconds ahead of Noah Olson's pace.
Impressive. Yeah.
Wow.
3 reps.
Drew Wayman, still on a handstand push-up.
And you're touching about earlier that being maybe an issue, especially with the deficit, even though they have the kip.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that deficit is just a bit too much.
You called that one early. Man.
And see, now look how comfortable Dakota looks on the toe bar. He looks like that's where he belongs.
You think he's going to go 30 unbroken, Matt?
Nope. No, I think that was a big set.
That was a big set.
Coming up to the 8-minute mark, Pat Vellner takes his first break just as Dakota Rager moves up for his second set. And as you guys said, he had a big chunk of reps, at least 15 to 20, and it looks like it was 20. Hand in the air for Dakota Rager.
All right, let's see how he handles these shoulder overhead.
At the 8:10 mark, a minute and 20 seconds ahead of Noah Olson.
A minute ahead. Incredible.
Oh, that first rep.
Uh-oh. Never mind.
Give me that look like double checking they put the right weights on the bar for the shoulder overhead.
Okay, there we go. He had a fumble on that first rep, but now he's back into his rhythm. He looks comfortable.
And man, how important is that? I mean, when you get out of your rhythm on a shoulder overhead, it's so tough to recover that.
I think it can be tough as long as you don't try to cycle it while you're not stable. Get it restable and then start pumping out your reps, and I think you should be fine. Yeah, same first rep again. He kind of stumbled backwards. I think at this point he's so far ahead. I don't want to jinx him, but he looks comfortable enough to finish up the workout.
Right.
That was a smaller set than I was expecting.
Yeah. Unless Vellner goes pretty much unbroken here, it's going to be
all right.
Dakota Rager still resting as Pat Vellner picks up the bar.
And Vellner is cycling that bar. I want to see Vellner try to go unbroken.
Vellner's still ahead of Noah Olson's pace at 9:26. If he can catch Dakota Rager, that'll be good enough for the event win.
All right.
Wow.
Put that pedal
Wow,
down.
it's getting exciting.
Put
here.
it down, Vellner. All right, now we have a good race.
Oh boy.
Dakota Rager's at 18 reps. Pat Vellner, we just heard he has at 12 reps. Vellner's only 6 behind.
All right, this is a good race.
Rager drops the bar after 22.
Rager is doing
18
tiny
for
sets.
Pat Vellner.
Yeah, Vellner had to put it down. That was another big set.
26 reps for Dakota Rager. 21 reps for Pat Vellner.
Go, get up. Let's go.
Dakota's got it.
I don't.
One more rep for Dakota Rager, and he'll hang on for the win.
Good job. That was impressive.
You know what, though? I'm going to give compliments to Pat Vellner right here, too. He's smooth. He's been finishing well all weekend, and this is what he needed. Took a second-place finish. That's a great play.
You know, he has a point buffer. I think everyone in the crowd wanted to see him go unbroken, give Rager run for his money, but you know, he's here for the qualifying spot. You know, that's the end goal.
Yeah. For those of you at home, I mean, the energy at Wodapalooza is incredible tonight. If you guys can make it out next year, give it a shot. I mean, it's amazing out here.
Vellner finishing up second overall in the heat to Dakota Rager. Travis Mayer in the
Look
mid
at
right
Travis.
side of your screen.
Yeah. Everyone else is kind of looking uncomfortable with the bar. Travis has picked it up.
He's practically push pressing that thing, huh?
He looks fresh. I think he paced this workout really well.
Travis Mayer trying to chase down Paul Castillo and Norman Woodring, as well as the time of Noah Olson, but that's only 3 seconds away. So Noah Olson's time for heat number 1 will be good enough for 3rd in the event overall.
That was a great finish for Noah. He needed that after day 1, so that was a big finish.
Yeah, it's a little bit odd watching him in this competition not be in the final heat. But I think he's hitting some event finishes today that bumped him way, way up.
Yeah, and as being outside that top heat, it's tough, man. And so good for him to get back in the mix. Come on.
All right, who we got with their hand up?
Mayer, you got to go, babe.
It'll be Paul Castillo in lane 13. Judge hands in the air with 5 reps remaining. Hand in the air over in lane 19, Marquand Jones. Also in lane number 4, you have Alex Anderson, Samuel Corvainer.
Marquand Jones is in, 12:30.
Wow. You got Drew. Drew is just now reaching his barbell, right?
Yeah, those handstand push-ups and those total bars, we're not friendly to them.
Paul Castillo crosses the finish line. Justin Medeiros crosses. Less than over a minute left for that 14-minute cap. Here comes Woodring.
Alex Anderson and Travis Mayer, that was a tight race.
That was a tight race.
I'm not sure who edged out who.
Travis Meyer, Alex Anderson, the photo finish, gonna have to go to the scorecard there. I'm looking at Nick Stevenson down here.
This was a great event. I thought this was well programmed. I thought this was a good event. Good event to watch, especially on Saturday night.
Yeah, this is the one event that I would love to see in a competition. It's just a good test. It's got a good test of everything. It's well-rounded.
I've got Nick Block, lane 3. One more to go, says the judge.
Heavy enough to test, but not so heavy you can't move it. You know what I mean?
Phil Grundler. It's sad that he couldn't say this, but he just handed me a note that said Dakota won because he is short. I couldn't agree more.
I'm listening to you, Chris.
I'm gonna count them down. 3, 2, 1. Time. Big old round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
And what a performance by Dakota Rager, who got himself a event win. But Patrick Vellner with that 2nd place finish has now put himself well ahead of the 2 people on the leader chasing him.
You're choosing to embrace a mentality.
And so that'll do it for the Elite Individual Men, for the Ocho Chipper, here for the 2019 Wodapalooza CrossFit Festival. As day number 2 for the men are done, the women will be next. Jessica Lipa, Matt Fraser, thank you guys for joining us in the booth. Hope we can do it again sometime soon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, had a great time.
Individual women from the Flagler competition floor is coming up next.
That is a guiding principle for how we do business.
The origins from the name Born Primitive come from the idea that we all possess an innate savage-like instinct that has mostly been silenced in our modern society. In nature, we have predator and prey. Every morning the lion wakes up, it has to find its food or it dies. For the gazelle, it has to outrun the lion or it dies. And that's what we're all about, is that mindset. There are times you gotta tap into that instinct, throw on some loud music, and start getting after it. Being a family-run business and literally starting this thing out of our garage, it's really cool to see how far we've come. My wife Mallory and the rest of the team has done an incredible job day in and day out. Our brand promise is quality products, positive customer experience, and a brand that encompasses something so much more. You have the side of it where we're embracing fitness, getting after it in the gym, not making excuses and pursuing your dreams. And then the other side of it, remembering those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Our first responders and our military for keeping our communities safe, and that's something we will always support. Anyone could become a clothing company. We're not just making apparel. It's the mindset of when you put this shirt on, you go to the gym, what are you embracing? It's about the pursuit of our aspirations and our goals. take the easy way out, or you're going to take the hard road and get after it. Athlete-driven, patriot-inspired.
Our elite competition continues. Our individual women coming out. I'm going to hit you guys with some more trivia. Which of these ladies coming out has 4 trips to the CrossFit Games? Anybody know? Let's welcome them as they come out. Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's give it up for the first heat of women making their way to the floor.
Well, one of these ladies has indeed made it to the CrossFit Games 4 times. And I'm not going to tell you who it is, but her name rhymes with Penzi Valenzuela.
Ooh. That's a hard one there, Noah. Way to hide it.
Ladies, real quick announcement. Please know that you cannot touch the handstand push-up mats. Ladies, do not touch the handstand push-up mats. Thank you. Crowd, we are getting to the latter portion of our action here on Flagler, so please don't hold back anything. A few more heats of Elite, and we're all going to empty the tank here, okay? You want to know who the tallest is out here, Chris?
Haley Murillo, our tallest athlete out here today, standing 5 foot 9 inches.
Athletes, 1 minute. Judges, 1 minute. Seconds. Quick battery change, no?
Hey, another fun fact. Anna Road in lane 13 had a birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday. 20 seconds.
The Elite Individual Men's Night is done for day number 2 here at the 2019 Wodapalooza CrossFit Festival. I'm Chase Ingham. Alongside with me is Bill Grunler, and it is the individual women's turn to tackle the Ocho Chipper.
And I like how this is. The classic setup for a chipper is you have a whole bunch of reps. You get to move on from one, then you don't have to see that one again. You hit the next one, you don't have to see that one again when you finish it. We start off with these bar muscle ups. And I tell you, I think that if you look at what you have to do right out of the gate, this takes a lot out of you immediately, especially for the women. That high-skill gymnastic movement, I don't expect to see these women doing anything close to 10. I think set to 5 is great because, wow, you look just like Matt Fraser.
Hey, you got nice
I feel kind of
arms
buff like Jason Khalifa right now. But I think that the women need to be very smart about what they do here. It's not about winning the muscle up. You don't win anything out of that. Break it up, short breaks, come down before you need to come down, and then get into the rest of the event.
Starting off with 20 bar muscle ups. Once they finish 20 bar muscle ups, they'll move forward to hang power cleans, and off the rig first over there in lane number 8, you have Mackenzie Flinkham.
Hand in the air near you.
So Mackenzie Fletcham is on to her first set of hang power cleans at 115 pounds.
And this is that rebound that we were talking about with the guys earlier. It saves a lot on the back because you stay so upright. But I tell you, unless you do this on a regular basis and you don't build up the power of the, be able to deal with that impact on the quads and to have that not affect you for the rest of the time, that's tough. I know a lot of athletes that can do it. I am not one of those athletes. I would rather use my back to get my hips involved into it. But it's a nice rebound and it's very fast if you can get it done that way.
Stringing those hang power cleans together. And to her left.
30 hang power cleans at 115. This is heat 1 of 2 for the individual elite women. Currently sitting on top of the leaderboard after 4 events is Tia Claire Toomey. 382 points in second place, however. Just 20 points back is Kristen Holter.
And if you have a long type of event, I think Kristen has a good capacity to catch up. So that's something that the team needs to be very aware of when they come up to this in this next heat.
Just a little bit faster, and that's when you'll see the field separate here at the Ocho Chipper.
And even though some of these women have the ability to make this weight look really light, you can see Lindsay Valenzuela right there just came off the screen. A lot of these women are really struggling. There's a big hip pop. That's more of a swing that you would normally see. It saves the grip when you go on that hip swing rather than just kind of grabbing and doing that bounce. I think there's a lot more grip on that than doing it the other way where you're using more of a hip-driven movement.
Lane 15, Samantha Pugh, done with her 30 hang power cleans, trying to keep pace in lane number 8. You do have Mackenzie Flincham in lane number 4. Is Taylor Kinsley. As we move to 30 handstand push-ups at a 4-inch deficit.
And you know what, even though it's a deficit, and I think a lot of these athletes are used to doing deficits in training, you really can't discount how much of an assault on your shoulders that is, how much of a blast that is of doing 4 inches, which is not really that big of a deal, but for 30 reps. That's a lot of reps. It's a big difference on your shoulder, and it takes a ton out of you. Not the first 15, it's that deadly second 15.
That's Taylor Kinsley in lane number 4, currently sitting in 3rd in this heat. Steph Chung on the right side of your screen. Mackenzie Flincham over on the left. Haley Marrero just stepped up to the rig. So far we've had 20 bar muscle ups, 30 hang power cleans at 115. The third movement in this chipper is the 30 deficit handstand push-ups. Deficit being 4 inches.
Happening soon, Mackenzie Flincham might be the one down there.
And across the board, we see just that basic kip, stopping on your head, loading those legs, that's bringing those feet all the way down to your butt, and then driving them, not moving them, but actually shooting them up. And the idea with that is to use the mass of your legs to build some momentum up, to help carry your body up at least past that 4-inch deficit so you can get into a normal handstand push-up and then continue to press out.
I like the way you described it as loading up at the bottom, not bouncing off the bottom.
Right. It's imperative, and I've seen a lot of people do that. I mean, I think it's a good technique to stay on your head so you can rest and stay up there, but you need to really load up, especially when you get tired, and shoot those things up as fast and hard as you can.
Samantha Pugh off the rig, moving to the barbell for the second time. 30 front squats at 115, wasting no time. Tell you what, I haven't seen someone that comfortable at this portion of the event in 5 heats.
Well, she definitely looked like she wanted to get off the wall or was ready to get off the wall and right into it. I mean, obviously a strong athlete, a lot of power, and using that to her advantage.
That'll be in lane number 11. Taylor Street, who actually had a great finish in the swim portion this morning. Her only downfall is that she was in heat 1 and not heat 2.
You know, you're right. And she had strength while she was pulling on that on the skier, but just didn't put the oomph into it that a lot of the other women did. so I'm hoping that for her, she kind of changes that here and hold. I mean, look at her holding on to that bar. She didn't even put it down to just now. That was a big chunk of reps for her and a great thing for her to do.
Third in this heat, Stephanie Chung. Haven't said her name a lot this event.
Well, she's just been kind of hiding in the shadows a little bit. You know, I mean, great athlete. It was a great kind of a Cinderella story of her making it to the games, making it to the regionals, making it to the games. Able to jump up into the foreground a little bit just with that game's appearance.
Steph Chung on the right. Early leader was Mackenzie Flincham. She's on the left. But your overall leader so far is in lane 15. On the other side of the competition floor, that's Samantha Pugh. She has 5 reps remaining. Samantha Pugh, being a former college gymnast, so you can see the benefit of this is a nice couplet. High skill gymnastics, a lot of barbell work.
Right.
But we see this a lot with gymnasts is that they spend such a long time utilizing their body. If good technique and body positions and awareness is that the transferability to a barbell
it's huge.
Isn't that much challenging.
It's huge. I mean, you figure I think that most athletes that don't have a gymnastic background or are inept in gymnastic type movements, they don't have that core stability. They don't know how to brace that midline and then be able to put either themselves on that midline or not. You see someone like, you know, look at Cody Anderson, always one of the smallest guys, and every single time he's out there shocks the scene because of the amount of weight he can put up. And that's not because he's a good lifter, it's because of the strength that he has at his midline and his body position and knowing how to put himself in that position. You say the same thing in the women as well.
Samantha Pugh on the left side. In lane number 15, working on her second set of toes to bar. In lane number 11, you have Taylor Streed. And in lane 6, Stephanie Chung. So your top 3, the same coming to the toes to bar as it was coming in for the front squats. Taylor Streed. That'll be her first set. Pretty big set for Taylor.
And I think one of the nice things that I'm seeing across the board with these top 3 women that are up on the rig is the way they're doing their toes to bar. It's not a big sloppy swing. They're trying to utilize that midline as much as possible, keeping their legs back and tight, and then a slight kick. So if you watch the way Steph Chung does it, see when she hops up onto the rig here, she doesn't swing back very far, so she really loads up that midsection and then brings her knees up and then kicks. So it's a very efficient toes to bar.
Samantha Pugh off the rig and on to the final 30 reps. 30 shouldered overhead at 115 pounds. Just past the 9-minute mark, 14-minute capped event. This is heat 1 of 2 for the individual elite women, event number 5. This will be their last event for day number 2. After this, we'll be seeding for the final time going into the last day of competition.
So
Stephanie Chung, 5 more reps to go on toes to bar. She's actually moved into second in this heat behind Samantha Pugh.
You can also see up at the top, she had her hand in an alternate grip. It just allows her to hang on that bar and not put so much tension on her fingers and forearms.
Counted up 15 now, Noah.
Well, I tell you what, the battle for second is underway.
15 reps done for Samantha Pugh, halfway through her set of 30 as Steph Chung gets to the bar for her first set of shoulder overhead.
So all eyes on lane 15.
And as Chung puts the bar down, Pugh picks the bar up. Taylor Streed onto her last set of shoulder overhead. And she's cycling just a little bit quicker than we saw Chung or Pugh do, as we're just past the 10-minute mark.
Taylor, center stage, what's he sitting at? Taylor's got 10. Step shot, 14 crowd, come on.
These final few reps for Samantha Pugh.
22 reps for Samantha.
Wow.
22 reps, so she has 8 more reps to go. Taylor Streed ripped off a set of 10 for her first set. She'll take her second break. Stephanie Chung still looking pretty good.
It's a great cycling speed for Steph. Wow. And as far as those other ladies that are in the lead, dropping the bar pretty soon. This is where that deficit handstand push-up, you're seeing the effects of that. And also the toe to bar, you're hanging up tight, so there's a lot of lat use, a lot of shoulder use, and the hands are in the air, so that makes those arms just fatigue out really quick.
Last rep for Samantha Pugh, and she'll run across the finish line. Unofficial time of 11:20. A couple more reps for Stephanie Chung in lane 6, but it's Taylor Street. She just had a no rep. One more rep for Chung. She'll drop the bar and run across the finish line. Oh, and Taylor Street, that last no rep was actually the last rep she tried to do, and that elbow just buckled underneath her. Ah. So Chung will take second in heat number 1. Behind Samantha Pugh, Taylor Street in third.
We got 2 minutes on the clock, Flagler. Ladies, keep pushing through. I know you're in that hurt locker right now, but it'll be all right in just a few minutes. Noah, what you got down there?
I've got Lindsay Valenzuela looking strong on the shoulder overhead. That's 17 under her belt.
Lindsay Valenzuela in the center part of your screen in the all black. 20 reps completed.
That's 21 under her belt so far. Just a few more to go as Haley Murillo in 7 comes off the toaster bar.
Leah Irons, another CrossFit Emma working on her shoulder and overhead in lane 14. Chipping away, she is over 10 reps. We got less than 90 seconds.
Time cap 14 minutes for event number 5, the Ocho Chipper. Already finishing in this event, first place Samantha Pugh, followed by Steph Chung and Taylor Street.
We got 1 minute.
Rest of the field is trying to get through their shoulder overhead. We have hand in the air over in lanes 4 and lane 5 between Taylor Kinsey and Keston Mendoza. But Lindsay Valenzuela in lane number 9, she'll cross the finish line around the 13:10 mark, just ahead of both athletes.
Here comes Keston Mendoza.
Elizabeth Bradley crosses the finish line. Mackenzie Flincham taking a big break. 4 reps left to go. 30 seconds remaining.
Let's go, Mackenzie. Get across this line. I'm on you, Chris, for the clock.
We got 20 seconds of hard work.
Whoa. That was a big dip under that bar.
There goes Mackenzie.
Mackenzie Flincham's done. 10 seconds left. 3 more athletes on the floor.
They're going to count them down. 5, 3, 2, 1, time.
And that'll do it for heat number 1. As from start to finish, Samantha Pugh sets the new time to beat. As we close out heat number 1 and move to heat number 2, and we'll see if Tia Claire Toomey can hold off the hard-charging Kristen Holta. Heat number 2, final action for individual elite women for day number 2, coming up after this.
So ladies and gentlemen, coming up in about 5 minutes, individual elite ladies continues. Among the athletes coming up, 23 total CrossFit Games appearances, including the current and 2-time fittest on earth. Can you guess who that is? Joseph, our head judge, thought it's him. It's not you, Joseph. No. Don't tell her I told you this, but Tia Claire Toomey, she likes to eat something called Vegemite. It's an Australian dish. It is disgusting, but she says if she mixes it with avocado and salt.
I'm proud to be a woman with muscles. The sport that I compete in It's an equal playing field between men and women. We do everything the same. We have the same workouts. We have the same TV airtime. We have the same prize money. Because we can do everything that they can do. We can do it all.
Tia is in love with her dog. She has 3 dogs. One is named Rio in honor of the fact that Tia was in the 2016 Rio Olympics. Get it? She also has a dog named Riri, which is not named after Rio. It's named after a famous singer. Can anybody guess who that is? Rihanna. I'm not making this up. Give her a hard time when you see her.
Where you got these? Just on your phone somewhere?
Me and Tia go way back. I've known her since I was like in 5th grade. Let's welcome our ladies to the arena floor. Flagler is about to get hyped. All right, ladies, listen to me. Ladies, listen please. Do not touch your handstand push-up mats, okay? Kristen Holta, I know you are very experienced. Don't touch them. Carrie Pierce, don't touch them. Do not touch their handstand push-up mats. Ian Church in the house, lane 5, representing Comtrain.
2 minutes.
Let's go, Sarah!
With these ladies.
Sigma's daughter hearing it from the crowd.
I want to know which of these ladies has been to the games the most times. Does anybody know? Her name rhymes with Kristen Holta. 5 times. Kristen.
One minute.
Heat 1 done. The second and final heat for the Elite Individual Women are about to begin their 5th event of the weekend. Sitting on top of the leaderboard is Tia Cleric-Toomey. She'll be in lane number 10. Trying to chase her down in lane number 11 is Kristen Holta. Just a 20-point lead between the two.
Before we set them off, athletes, stand by. 3, 2, 1, go. Make some noise.
In case I really think with this particular event, it's going to be tough for Kristen to make up that sort of a deficit on Tia. But I think if anyone has a chance to push Tia, I think she's definitely the person to do that. And this is that chipper style event where we have 20 bar muscle ups right into those 30 hang power cleans at 115 pounds, 30 deficit handstand push-ups at 4 inches, 30 front squats, 30 toes to bar, and then that final 30 shoulder to overhead at that 115 pounds. I think these women are going to be very cautious watching how the other women were working and how this particular element affected them later in the event. So they're going to be very smart about where they decide to break up these bar muscle-ups. And I mean, you can very easily go sets of 5 and have it not really damage you at all time-wise because it's going to contain so much more energy for later, or compose so much more for later.
Coming out of CrossFit St. Jerome and 16, Carol Ann Rizzo.
Event starting off with 20 bar muscle ups.
And there goes Toomey.
Tia Claire Toomey off the rig at the same time as Carrie Pierce and KT Trombetta. And here comes Kristen Holte just behind us, who will move from 20 bar muscle ups to 30 hang power cleans at 115 pounds.
And look at the tempo speed of Tia Claire on the right-hand side of your screen. Look how fast that is. Now that's the benefit of doing that bounce. You can see Carrie Pierce all the way on the right there on the red tank top was doing more of a swing movement. So even though she came off the rig ahead of Tia, look at how much distance Tia's putting between her and the rest of the field just based on that bar cycling speed.
Tia Claire Toomey on the right side above the eye in the Miami. Carrie Pierce on the far right in the red and black. Kristen Holte in the blue pink top and black tights.
I'm going to look at Carrie here. Where we at?
She got to the bar just about 4th place overall. Sarah Sigmund's daughter on the left side of your screen. But it is Tia Claire Toomey that is just destroying these 30 hang power cleans at 115. At the 2:20 mark, she's 30 seconds ahead of the pace set by Samantha Pugh in the previous heat.
Yeah, she made a statement out of that. And we know that she has Olympic lifting talent. That's the other thing that she does. I mean, she's an Olympian for that. This is the way these athletes are cycling the bar is not about being an Olympic lifter. This is about some grit work and wanting to know that if this is a strength, they're going to definitely make a strength there. And she's definitely making a mark or made a mark in that particular element. Plus, she definitely wants to get ahead of Carrie Pierce for the handstand push-up.
Carrie Pierce, I think I just saw her handstand walk into an appropriate position.
Oh my gosh, seriously.
Carrie Pierce on the right side of the screen. Tia Claire Toomey in center, just outside the screen to the left is 2nd place Kristen Holte. Now she's not that far behind time-wise, but when you think about how quick these reps can be, in terms of total reps, she's quite far behind, about 15, 20 reps. Going from left to right, you see Danny Spiegel, Sarah Sigmund's daughter, KT Trombetta, Kristen Holte taking a break. Just to Kristen's right, Tia Claire Toomey back up. Less than 5 reps to go for Tia Claire Toomey, center screen. Carrie Pierce off to her right. And Tia Claire Toomey will be done at the 3:55 mark. And that is a minute and 10 seconds ahead of Samantha Pugh's pace. I'm going to stop calling out the pace times and just start calling out how much Tia is going to be beating that time by.
That's why she is the 2-time defending champ right there. No hesitation, straight to work. She likes to make it hurt. And let's see if she can maintain that lead.
Carrie Pierce off the rig, moving to the bar. Back left part of your screen, Sarah Sigmund's daughter is off the rig.
Sarah Sigmund's daughter as well now, rounding out your top
Carrie
3.
Pierce in the front. 2 reps in, a little bit of a bobble. Tia will take her first break. Sarah Sigmund's daughter, she's sitting in lane number 13, trying to run down Tia Claire and Carrie Pierce.
I'm going to get a count here. 19, now 20 for Tia.
Now coming off the wall is Kristen Holte. Sigmund's daughter will put the bar down. Danny Spiegel up to her left is to the bar for the first time. Tia is still taking a break. Hand in the air for Tia Claire. 2 more reps to go.
Well, I tell you what, that just may happen.
And Tia Claire Toomey has now extended her lead on Carrie Pierce, Kristen Holte, and Sarah Sigmund's daughter.
And look at that composure. She doesn't even look remotely winded, taking some nice easy breaths, and she's composing herself, coming all the way down, and then being able to attack. And that just shows where her conditioning is this early in the season, and it's only going to be that much better. If she wins this event, all that rest time coming into the games, unreal.
Carrie Pierce will take a break. She's in the forward part of your screen in the red and black. Up to her left in the blue shorts is KT Trombetta. Had a great finish last night in the rope climb event. Kristen Holta just inside in the black tights and pink top in the left part of your screen is trying to at least keep things close between her and Tia Claire. And hand in the air as Tia Claire is going into her first set of toes to bar. But Carrie Pierce and Kristen Holta are both done with their second set of barbell work, those 30 front squats. Sarah Sigmundsdottir also on the rig. So Sigmundsdottir is still holding on to that second place position. But we see a hand in the air for Tia Claire yet again.
Insane.
2 minutes ahead.
We just take a look at the time right now. You've got to be kidding me.
2 minutes ahead of the pace.
And this is what you come to see underneath the black lights here at Flagler. Tia Claire Toomey.
Tia Claire Toomey, 30 shouldered overhead. 115 pounds on the bar. In the background, Sarah Sigmundsdottir to the left, Kristen Holta, Carrie Pierce from left to right. Trying everything they can to get off the rig and to the bar, but it is all Tia Claire Toomey. The time to beat coming in was 11 minutes and 20 seconds. Tia Claire Toomey, 17 reps in. Shield break. Kristen Holta's off the rig. Sigmundsdottir's off the rig. Sigmundsdottir on the left, Kristen Holta on the right. They'll start their first set of shoulder overhead. That's 2 reps for Sigmundsdottir. But Tia Claire on the right side of the screen, just past the 20 rep mark.
Let's go, guys, as Tia pushes the lead, she's at 23.
Tia Claire in the upper left part of your screen. 23 reps to go. Well ahead of these athletes.
Recovering a little bit. She's got
Tia on the left has the bar up.
She's at 25 now.
Carrie Pierce has the bar.
You got the call, Noah.
2 more reps to go for Tia Claire Toomey. 1 final rep to go. And Tia Claire will cross the finish line at 8:48. Well ahead of the pace by Samantha Pugh. Now who's going to finish in second between Sigmundsdottir, all black in the middle. Carrie Pierce on the left side of your screen on the shouldered overhead. Trying to set ahead of Kristen Holta. We can't see her. She's out of the screen. The race is in the middle of the floor between Sarah Sigmundsdottir, middle part of the lane in the all black, standing on the Z. Kristen Holta, no rep. 2 lanes over. Carrie Pierce to the right of her. Hand in the air for Sarah Sigmundsdottir. 2 more reps to go for Sigmundsdottir. Crowd on their feet for Sarah Sigmundsdottir. Still well on the time set by Samantha Pugh. That's good for second overall in the event. Kristen Holta still trying to work through her final set of shoulder overhead. Carrie Pierce just crossed the finish line. So Holta, who's sitting in second, 20 points back of Tia Claire, is going to concede most likely another 20 points for that second place position.
Got 4 minutes left on the clock. So playing a time.
And we were looking at the leaderboard coming in. There was nobody else really even close on the leaderboard to Tia Claire or Kristen Holta. Now it looks like nobody's going to be even close to Tia Claire Toomey.
No. And again, now they're just fighting for money to go to the next qualifying event, wherever they're going, and have a little spending money for it.
Danny Spiegel will cross the finish line.
I've got Colleen Fudge, E. Church, making their way to that barbell. Chelsea Nicholas also gonna grab that heavy barbell and start working on shoulder to overhead.
Faith Semenza working on her shoulder to overhead.
7 athletes left on the competition floor. KT Trombetta takes a break for her shoulder overhead. 3 more minutes remaining. Samantha Pugh's time of 11:20 now becoming a factor for these athletes. And just to put things into perspective, is that Tia Claire Toomey finished about 3 minutes ago, and that was the winning time of the previous heat.
I know. I mean, and you don't want to say that wasn't a great job. It was a great job. That just shows how proficient and how just dominating Tia is. Amazing.
KT Trombetta trying to finish up her last 30 reps of shoulder overhead at 115. Amanda Hardiman's just moving into the toes to bar. So she is well behind the rest of the field. You can see Colleen Foch finishing up her final rep. 2 minutes underneath the 14-minute cap. KT Trombetta taking a little bit of a break, chalking up her hands.
And you know, you can't discount how much work these ladies are doing. And I hate to have them as examples, but someone like Tia makes it look so easy, and it's not so easy. So you have these other athletes that are extremely strong, extremely, I mean, well-rounded, games level, not games level, but games athletes. I mean, literally getting their butts handed to them, getting just crushed by this event. And then you have someone that's at the level of being the champ, just walking through it. I mean, literally walking through the event.
1 more minute remaining.
Who wants to see Amanda get back to the barbell, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go. Give it up for
Gabriella Magala working through her last rep of shoulder overhead at 115. So Magala will cross the finish line in 3 minutes 13:19. Tia Claire giving everybody a high five. Good job, nice try.
Nice try.
See you next year.
Good job, nice try.
was that too much? Amanda Hardiman actually had a pretty good day yesterday.
Yeah, she really did. Finishing up that last event, just a great finish in that last event, coming in with some good momentum coming into this day, but not ending the same way.
And that'll do it for heat number 2, the final heat of individual women. And that'll be their final event of the night. As we saw the beautiful Miami Beach weather on the Bayside stage with the nice marina background. And this is the next phase of the Miami feel here at the 2019 Wodapalooza CrossFit Festival. As the lights are coming on, you just get this amazing outdoor club atmosphere here at the Flagler.